Hello my celestial friends, I'm Echo, the Saving Sorceress, and today it's time for some spring cleaning. I'm about to go through all of my shoes. It's gonna be a lot. So if you've been here for a while, you know that I'm a little bit of a hoarder. I kind of buy something or thrift something or get something for free, and it never leaves me. It just becomes a part of my life forever. And I'm trying to come to terms with that now, and I think it's time to tackle my shoes, to find where I put all of them, all the little corners hidden away. I need to lay down the law and say, no more. I'm not keeping the shoes that don't fit anymore. I'm not keeping the shoes that aren't comfortable anymore. I'm not keeping the shoes that are falling apart anymore. And I really want to actually end up recycling the ones that I let go of. I know there's various shoe recycling programs, and I'm still looking into which ones I want to go for. So if you know about any of those, please let me know down in the comments because I am actively looking for some good options. Let's get started. If you've watched my channel before, you may have seen these piles of fabric everywhere. Yeah, I have a fabric problem, but what you didn't know is that behind these piles of fabric are shoes in bags. Because of course there are. Why not? I suppose these count as shoes, even if technically I think of them as decor. Under the sewing machine, there's even more. Oh, I forgot about these. Oh, and these. Oh my gosh. I feel a little bit like a squirrel just hiding away little nuts and treats for me to find later. And, you know, I'm reaping what I sow. And of course, my most frequently worn shoes. Alright, here they all are. Every single pair of shoes that I have. Well, full disclosure, there's one pair that's being left out of this because I will be showing them in my next accessories thrift haul coming up soon. So stay tuned for that one. But other than that, this is all of them. And now I have to make some tough decisions. So in order to help me do that, I have made these signs for keep, recycle, fix, and donate. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. I laid them all out on a shower curtain so that my carpet can be kept clean because some of them, that one's being quarantined right now. It's, you know, in rough shape. All right, let's do the count. Let's find out how many I'm really dealing with. 1, 2, 3, 56, 27, 28, 29, 53, 54, 55, 56. And I have that one last pair that makes 57. 57 pairs of shoes. 57 pairs of shoes! I almost never leave the house. Why do I have 57 pairs of shoes? Something must be done about this. Let's begin with the boots. Ah, yeah. So you've got this pair right here. And they are, well, some people would say that they're heinous, but I have been in love with these boots for so many years. Back when they were actually in style, I was all about sneaker boots. These are actually my second pair of sneaker boots ever because I wore my first pair out from wearing them too much. And I bought them at Claire's, which was well known for ear piercing and not so much for, you know, shoe buying. Don't really know if they're good shoes, but they're perfect to me. I still love them. I still have a soft spot in my heart for them. They need a little cleaning up, but I am a huge fan. And next up, we've got these fancy little boots. They are gorgeous. I'm in love, except for the fact that they have a heel. I'm just not a heel girl anymore. I think I will donate them and hopefully they can go to a good home. And in case you've noticed here, I use pool noodles to hold up my boots. It's a really awesome solution for keeping them in good shape. I know most people have heard of it by now, but in case you haven't, I highly recommend them. You've probably also noticed that some of my boots are sort of twisted in like this. it's because I sewed them to fit me better. But I can take those stitches out and they'll be as good as new. And next up we've got these boots that are also super cute. I love the buckles, but the heels have just gotta go. I don't think they're gonna stick around in my closet either. They can go to a better home. And these boots, I guess they're my sexy boots. I may hold on to them just because I might want one pair of boots with heels, and they're cute. Now these brown boots may not be in the best shape, but I get a lot of use out of them, so they're definitely sticking around. And these are my like pseudo Uggs, I guess. I love them, so I'm definitely not letting go of them. They keep me warm and they're cute. And my gray boots I also get a lot of use out of. And I've got one more pair of boots with a buckle, and I'm actually holding on to these, so, you know, must hold on to something good for the sake of fashion. And here are my pirate boots. You never know when you're gonna have to dress as a pirate. Well, at least I never know. It happens more frequently than you'd think in my life. So I will be holding on to them as well. Now these boots are another old favorite. I'm not even sure they're supposed to be boots, but I used to wear them as boots in college. And they are something else. I think they're supposed to be slippers, to be honest, but that might be why I like them, because they're pretty comfortable. And they definitely went with my unique style of the time. I will probably wear them out, and I will love them. Now these boots are of a time. They've got little flower details on them. They are just something special. They're not in the best condition, so I'm not sure what I'll do with them, but I have to admit I do think they're pretty cute, and they've definitely got kind of an iconic look to them. So yeah, I gotta say I'm a fan. These boots, I love them. I love them too much. They're actually rain boots, but they've also got like this warm inner layer. I wore these so much, I wore them out. They're actually glued back together, and they'll probably not stay together for long. But I'm in love, and if I can find another pair, I will wear them until I wear those out too. So comfortable and so good for spending hours dancing in the rain, which is kind of what happened to these in the first place. Now these boots are stunning, but they also are so painful because they're a size, or at least half size, too small. I bought them for my friend's wedding and we all looked so good in our shoes, but man, I wish I could have found these in my actual size, because by the end of the night, my feet were screaming. So I'll definitely be donating these so someone else can enjoy these beautiful boots, because they deserve a home where they can get a lot of wear. And hopefully someone with feet about a half size smaller than mine can really make the most of them. These boots are currently some of my top favorites. I think they're super cute. I relaced them with ribbons so that I could add a little bit of a festive touch to them. And I think they look a little bit historical, they look a little bit witchy, so definitely some of my favorite boots that I've ever thrifted. They're no longer in the best condition, but that's because I wear them so often. I love them. And these are boots I got for gardening. They're really heavy, which means that I can walk through all sorts of disgusting water and dirt and whatever else I'm dealing with in order to care for my garden, and it doesn't matter. They'll be fine. I still am not quite sure how I feel about these boots. I kind of have them for a similar reason, to go outside and get messy, but they also kind of make me think of space, of Xenon, girl of the 21st century. You know, just cool things. I think I like them, but I haven't quite figured out how to style them yet. But I mean, who doesn't want to feel like they're an astronaut walking around the garden, right? That's a normal feeling. Now you might be wondering, what's the deal with all these shoes and bags? Well, none of them are in great shape. They all need some help, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do with them. I was going to do some crafting to fix them up. I thought I was going to wrap the little straps in ribbon, but I don't think that's gonna solve the problems that these have. But they are mostly kind of uncomfortable, honestly. Some of them are falling apart. The little tip part of this heel has completely deteriorated and fallen off. These are not salvageable. Some of them are just, you know, in rough shape and in need of some shoe polish or something. I'm not sure if they can be salvaged because the polishing that these ones particularly need is just a whole lot, and they're a bit hardened too, but maybe there's still hope. And some are completely falling apart. Faux leather, what they call vegan leather now, but used to be called pleather, and it's just plastic basically. So they flaked off so badly that I can't take them out. I am not sure if they are even worth trying to do something with. I'm not even sure if I can wear heels like this anymore anyway. These are, you know, a little aggressive. But, you know, until I make my decision, they're staying in the bag. So I think some of them will be recycled and others I'm actually going to fix up this time, or make them into something amazing. I'm actually gonna do it, promise. And here are my shoes that I have quarantined. I believe they were cute at some point, but now I think it's definitely time to say goodbye. They are rough. I have worn them to the bitter end and it is time. I mean, I can't even keep them near the other shoes. It's a problem. Now this pair of shoes, as well as this pair of shoes, I actually only use them for decoration. Because, you know, sometimes shoes are really pretty and you don't want to actually wear them. They may not be comfortable, but they are fancy. I have worn them both at least 1 or 2 times, but they're both so uncomfortable that it didn't make sense to keep them just to wear. I thought about donating these just because they are really cute and someone else would probably like to wear them, but they are actually sort of hardened now because they've only been used for display for so long, so, you know, might as well keep enjoying looking at them and being like, wow, such a pretty pair of shoes. These are my Converse, and I'm definitely holding on to them. I've loved them for a long time, and I think they still have a lot of time left in them, so absolutely holding on to those. But the shoes are right next to them. Well, I think it's time to say goodbye to these as well. I think they used to be really sort of nice looking, and I enjoyed having them instead of regular tennis shoes for a while because I was like, you know what, these are fancy. But I wore them out. You can already see maybe the hole in the top of them, and oh boy, they are not in good shape. These shoes I got for my very intense PE class of walking. Yeah, in college they offered walking as an elective, and I took it because I may be pretty decent at crafting and sewing and things like that, but physical activity is just not my thing. I also wore them out. They are falling apart and have been glued back together, like many of the pairs of shoes here. I don't think they're gonna last more than one more wear. And these are my current most worn shoes, these rainbow tennis shoes. And I just like the brightness of the colors. I wear a lot of black, so I like to have at least one accessory that's really loud. And these shoes work for most of my outfits. And I love them so much, but I have worn them out. And I think it's time to be honest with myself and say goodbye to them as well. They're not gonna last forever. And because I'm me, of course, I already have their replacement. These shoes also have a bit of rainbow on them, and I actually have some rainbow laces that I'm going to probably thread into them too to, you know, really just up the rainbow count. You can't have enough color in my world. I think they're going to be pretty cute. I am a little sad that I bought these so long ago as replacements because I've seen even better rainbowy shoes in between, but you know, you gotta do what you can do with what you have. And these I got from a family friend for free, and they're practically new, at least compared to the state of most of my shoes. So that's good because I'll need some nice shoes to replace some of my other ones that are also falling apart. And I've got this pair of white sandals. They are kind of rough, but unfortunately the pair of sandals I have right next to them is really rough. Like really, really rough. I wore them to my brother's wedding, and unfortunately at the very beginning they just decided to give up and, you know, say goodbye. And I tried to glue them back together 4 times. 4 times. And yeah, this is what they look like. So I think I'm gonna definitely have to send those off to a better place. They will need to be recycled for sure. It always makes me sad when sandals and shoes end up getting really gross foot marks on them, because I would like to actually part with this pair. This is not my favorite pair. They have kind of a heel to them, and I don't think they're super comfortable, but with the foot marks, I think it's just a no-go for donating. So I may recycle those. I might also see if they're comfortable enough to keep wearing, but I doubt it. These are my black sandals that I probably need to hold on to. They've also fallen apart and I glued them back together, but you know what? That's just the way life is with me. I'm sure most people don't even realize shoes can have these problems because they let go of them in a reasonable amount of time, but here we are. Then I've got these sandals. I love these wedges. Oh my gosh, I think they're so cute. Unfortunately, same old story. They've been glued back together, but I have higher hopes that maybe these will stick around for a little bit. Now these I actually got for free, and I was really excited about them at first because I was like, ooh, they look kind of witchy. And I have always wanted some witchy shoes. I still don't have my ideal witchy shoes yet. So, you know, I'm keeping an eye out, but I thought these would work. But they're a size too big, and boy, is that not a good idea. I have tried to make them work, and they are so uncomfortable, so high, so just, not okay and too big. It makes me look like I'm a toddler wearing my parents' shoes. And since they were secondhand and they're falling apart, I think recycling is the way to go with these. Now these shoes are really great except for the bottom, which again really needs some black polish or something. They unfortunately are pretty uncomfortable, I think, because again, the heel situation. Now I've got some apparently brand new slides here that I totally forgot about. I really need to kind of stop buying things so far in advance that I forget I even own them anymore. These silver shoes though, I actually really like them. I think they're cute, and they're definitely a flat heel, so I can keep wearing them. I am in love with these gold flats. They remind me of the 1920s. I don't know, there's just something special about them. So I am so glad that I rediscovered them, because I will wear them again for sure. But these flats, they may need some cleaning up, but I've got to admit, I don't wear them, so I think if I can get them looking nice again, I will have to donate them. I will say they have really cool wedge heels though. Like, what is even going on? They're really, really unique. And these flats, honestly, they're really super uncomfortable. I may still hold on to them because they look pretty decent, and I can wear them for certain occasions, but I'm gonna need to put some sort of padding or something in them, because what's in there now is just not gonna cut it. It's not gonna work. And then I have these flats, which are similar, but way more boring. I may just donate those. I'm not a huge fan. I mean, they've got a Mary Jane look, which I like, but it's just meh. They're kind of just blah to me. These shoes, they used to be cute, but unfortunately I started wearing them to go get the mail. And sometimes it's rainy and sometimes it's gross, and after a while all the glitter rubbed off, and it was just kind of a terrible mistake to wear them for just utility. But hey, it works. Why not, I guess? At this point, they're not going to be good for anything else. But these shoes, which are new, I'm definitely not going to start wearing them to the mailbox. I think they are absolutely stunning, and I actually was considering wearing them to my friend's wedding before I got the other boots, and they probably would have been more comfortable, but a little less wedding shoe-ish. But I'm sure I will find a good use for these. I love them. Okay, I know you've been wanting me to do it. I'll talk about my slippers. I've got some Spongebob slippers right here, and I used to have a whole like Spongebob pajama set. I actually might still have the pajama set, but I have to be honest with myself. I've never really seriously worn the Spongebob slippers. I think they're cute and they're ridiculous and amazing, but I think I've got to donate them. They're still in good condition, so someone can use them and find joy whenever they look at them. These slippers though, they're so cute. They're also sort of like off-brand Uggs, and they are super warm, so I will definitely keep wearing those. Ugh, these sandals look like they've seen better days. They're still really good and comfortable, but they're so gross. Let's stop looking at those. Okay. These heels I also got for free from my mom's friend. They fit well. They're not in the best condition, but I'll probably just wear them till they wear out, like a lot of my other shoes. These flip-flops, I don't like them. I think that they're cute, but you know those shoes where you just aren't really attached? I don't know. They're not me. I want to like them, but I can't. So I think that I will just donate them for sure. These, however, ugh. You can tell how much I've worn these because, yikes, they're just like basically foot imprints on these shoes. But I will be wearing them till I wear them out too. Yeah, we'll just move on. I've got some flip-flops that also used to be cute, but they're really rough looking now, and oh, hardened. That's fun. I think recycling is the only option for these now. That's gonna be a no for me. And these are also a no. They've never been comfortable. They're hard as a rock. I think they were given out for free in college, and that's how I got them. I liked the cute bunnies, but that was about it. At least I'm being honest with myself now. I'm gonna go, I think, pair by pair and sort of decide what I'm gonna do with them and put them with the appropriate signs. So, fingers crossed this works out. I am really excited to see how everything has stacked up. Okay, my final count is 26 or 27 that I'm going to keep for sure. Between like 8 and 10 that I will try to donate. And then 1, 2, oh wait, I forgot about those. So actually closer to maybe even 12 that I'll donate. 11, 12, 13 that I will be trying to recycle. 6-ish, I'm not quite sure what's actually in that pile, but it looks about 6 that I need to fix up and see if I can donate them or continue to wear them or make them into something completely brand new that is kind of more, I don't know, me. I have some dream shoes that I've always wanted to make, and I think I might be able to make them with some of these. So yeah, stay tuned for that. This is just gonna be so great though. I'm basically cutting the amount of shoes I have almost in half. That is amazing. I am so excited to finally be able to actually see the shoes that I have and to not feel horrible if I find another pair that I really love and I want to thrift in the future. You know, I'll try not to reach this level of problem though, because this is not good. I am just really, really pleased with what I was able to do. I feel so accomplished, and just the letting go as a mild hoarder it's really an achievement. It's hard to do if you're used to keeping everything, but I'm moving forward. Feels good. Whew, that was a lot, but I am so proud of what I've been able to accomplish here. I'm just excited to actually have shoes in my closet that I will really wear in real life, and to let the other shoes that I've been holding on to for way too long go off to new homes or get fixed. I'm gonna get to it, I promise this time. Or, you know, be recycled into something brand new. And if you know of any programs that do good things with old shoes, recycle them in some way or upcycle them, put them to use, let me know about it down in the comments. I am really hoping that I can give them to a good cause. And it would make my day if you would describe your favorite pair of shoes in the comments below. I would love to hear about them. I just really like seeing what makes other people happy. And if you had fun with this video, I would love it if you'd either like and subscribe and stick around for more videos like this about fashion and thrifting and sewing and crafting, all with a witchy spin. I will be back soon, so stay tuned, and remember, my celestial friends, save whatever pairs of shoes you truly love, be kind to yourself and to the universe, and try to add a little bit of magic wherever possible to your corner of the world. Bye. I'm Echo, the saving, what? Nope, nope, nope. Let me know down in your comment. Why am I not doing words? And next up, we've got these fancy little boots. Oop. It's still not a comfortable position. 50, I messed up somewhere. Let me do this again. Oh wait, no, I think that was right. 41, 42, 43, 53, 54, 55. No. Oh my gosh.